What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Locked In Baseball Podcast. I'm William Locke, and joining me for our 2025 Worst Contracts Draft is Luis Barranco. Luis, very big day. We've been building this one up for a few weeks now. How you doing?
Armchair GMs in the building. How we feeling? I'm ready to be making some awful draft picks. I'm gonna build a team of. I hope I get picks for it. I hope it's like Michael Porter Jr., where I get a couple firsts thrown my way for drafting these guys.
I just have a feeling you're going to make some crazy picks today. Some very out of the pocket, out of what I would expect. Because I'm giving you the first pick. We'll go over the draft parameters here before we get started. But I am giving you the first pick, and I feel like you're going to do something crazy with it. I feel like you're not going to do what everyone else would do.
You're going to call me David Kahn, David Kahn, Minnesota Timberwolves. Sorry, Joe, for making this reference. But when he drafted 5 point guards, he drafted Ricky Rubio, Johnny Flynn, the Stephen Curry draft. He went 5 point guards. Call me David Kahn. Call me Dick Monfort for the Rockies. You can also call me Artie Moreno type ownership. We just going to spend today. So my question is, will I have a CBT? Do I have to factor in the CBT? Will I have to factor in ownership constraints where the owner makes me draft a player that I don't want? Or what's the deal here? Do I have to have Japanese representation, or because of my team on the West Coast, or what's the deal?
We're not the Los Angeles Dodgers or the San Diego Padres, so no requirements, no parameters in terms of CBT. There's no luxury tax threshold. I feel like we would be well above that if we actually had to factor that in.
Oh no! I could make a team really bad, really cheap. We could make that happen.
Well, just to give the outline of the episode, I got this idea from Bill Simmons. If you haven't listened to his show, he does the worst contracts draft for the NBA every single year. So credit goes to him for coming up with this idea. I don't know if it was him that came up with the idea or one of his listeners, but I got the idea from that show. And we're going to do it for baseball instead. We're going to field a full roster, catcher through starting pitcher, one starting pitcher. We're going to have a DH as well. We're just doing set draft order, no snake stuff. We literally have 2 people, so there's no point in doing a snake draft. The definition of worst can be confusing in this situation. So we're going to be using worst. It can be considered bad from either the team perspective or the player perspective. So it could be a guy that took way too of a team-friendly deal like Ronald Acuna Jr., or a player that is getting paid way too much money, i.e. Anthony Rendon, for the production he provides. So when we make the pick, we'll obviously, describe why we are making that pick, and if it's bad from the team side of things or bad from the player side of things. We're obviously not including any players in arbitration or pre-arbitration years because, those contracts are not big and usually just a year-to-year thing. So we're strictly doing dudes that have signed extensions. So it could be Bobby Witt Jr. He won't get picked, but a guy that has signed an extension before hitting arbitration, Bobby Witt Jr., Corbin Carroll, guys like that, and guys that have signed free agent contracts. We're referencing Spot Track for all of the contracts used in the draft. Once a player's off the board, he cannot be picked again. That's pretty much it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Going to be talking about some of the worst. We're generally pretty positive on this podcast. I feel like we like to give dudes love, give the respect where it's due in terms of players at the major league level, except maybe sometimes we're not afraid to call guys out too that are struggling, whatever. Mostly positive. Today is definitely more a negative geared podcast, but we had to. We've been waiting to do this all year. So it's finally time.
That's right. All right. Well, we gotta pick where we're gonna make our teams from. Where's your team gonna be from?
Okay. Why don't we just do our hometowns? Chicago. We got a third team.
No. I'm gonna make mine from Charlotte because me and Charlotte have a thing going on. I don't know. It's just a story for a different podcast. But my team's gonna be Charlotte. We're gonna make an expansion team number 31 in Major League Baseball from Charlotte.
Okay. I mean, I was talking about last week, joking about some of the expansion teams. I'll be Anchorage, Alaska.
Why? Well, okay.
Why not? It's in the summer. It's light essentially all day, so perfect for baseball. Every day is basically a day game. So we got good vibes up in Anchorage. Obviously, a lot of travel. We're spending we're getting those frequent flyer miles, but good place to have a ball club.
Let's do it then. Let's do it. So who got first overall? I have first overall pick, right?
You got first pick. Yep.
All right. So with the first overall pick, Charlotte decides to draft. We don't have we're just going to call the Charlotte Baseball Club. Like, you know,
Okay.
Utah Hockey Club. Like, we don't have a team name. Charlotte, BC will be drafted Garrett Crochet with the number 1 overall pick.
Whoa, what? Wait,
Garrett Crochet is one of the most team-friendly deals.
Okay.
Like, he's 26 years old. He's making $28 million. And this dude throws straight gas. This year alone, he has a WAR of 5.2, 14-5, 2.38 ERA, and he's pitched 166 innings. This dude clearly right now is the Cy Young in the American League. And the Boston Red Sox got him at a 28.3 average annual value, which ranks behind Corbin Burns, Garrett Cole, Blake Snell, Jacob deGrom, and Zach Wheeler. And you still got a lot of guys coming up soon. Paul Skeens is going to eclipse that value. Who else is going to eclipse that value? A lot of guys will eclipse that value fairly easy. Like, it's going to be really funny when we look back at that contract, how cheap it was. I'm taking him. He's 26. He's at a prime age. It's 2 straight years of All-Star, and he's going to win a Cy Young. Like, man, oh man. Talk about a dude who is ridiculously underpaid.
All right. I see. This is why I enjoy doing these things with you, because you are always going to go outside the box. I never in a million years thought Garrett Crochet was going to be the first pick. That said, you do make a good case, and we know how valuable starting pitching is in this league. He very well could have made more money. Didn't want to continue to play with the White Sox until he got an extension, traded to the Red Sox, gets the extension. And you're right. Like, I feel like, you know, he's one of the few players in the league where, you know, he's on the mound. You just feel like you have no chance. Like, there's that level of elite pitchers, but you feel like on a bad night, you can get to them. Like, I don't know, let's say even like a Zach Wheeler before he got hurt, first name that came to mind. You could get to. I just feel like Garrett Crochet more or less this season does not have any single bad nights. Even Scooble's had a few bad starts, but Crochet is one of those guys that's like, well, I hope his pitch count gets high early, and the thing is, it doesn't, because he just throws strikes all day. So I mean, I'm thinking of the Yankees start obviously on Saturday.
Hey, you've seen him a lot. We saw him live against Atlanta. You know, his number at 28. Look at the guys who's coming down the pike. Scooble's coming down the pike. He'll be due for a lot of money. Logan Gilbert too will be due a lot of money if he hits free agency or whatever the Mariners decide to pay him. Zach Gallen would have been up there in that range, but with the year, he probably hurt his money this year. Who else? Hunter Green, guys like that. They're easily going to make. Well, Hunter Green got extended, but a lot of guys are going to be up there in that $30-35 million range. I kind of think the $30 million range is like the new like elite number 1 pitcher number. Scooble's going to break the market. And so I could see Dylan Cease getting 30 this year by some team that's just dumb.
I don't know if we'll get 30, but I mean, Bubba Chandler, we saw him debut. We're recording this on Sunday, August 24th, just for reference. I think it's going to drop like midweek on Wednesday. We saw Bubba Chandler debut this weekend. He very well top pitching prospect in all of baseball. He could get a big bag. So, I mean, Andrew Painter, when he comes up with the Phillies.
Skeens. You know, Skeens is going to
40.
He's going to 40. Is 50 even out of the question? Is Soto money even out of the question with Skeens?
I mean, we talked about him on the recap last week on the episode that came out on Monday, but he through his first 50 starts, he has the second best ERA in MLB history in terms of like first 50 starts behind Vita Blue. So he has been very good. Let's keep this draft going. I'm going with the chalky pick. I'm lucky that this guy fell to me at number 2, third baseman Anthony Rendon. I mean, he came over to the Nationals in he came over from the Nationals in following the 2019 season when they won the World Series with the Nationals. He is making 7 years, $245 million. He's making $38 million this year, and then through next year as well. Since coming over to the Nationals, he's obviously started in the 2020 season, which was COVID shortened, but he's played 257 games total. He has a 717 OPS, 100 OPS plus, which is exactly league average, a 242 batting average. But the key stat is the 257 games. I mean, if you look at the amount of games he's played every single year, 2020 was 52, which is most of them because it was a 60-game season. But 2021, 58, 2022, 47, 2023, 43, 2024, 57. And this year he has not played a singular game, and he's getting paid big bucks. He's one of the highest paid third basemen, if not the highest paid third baseman in all of baseball, in terms of AAV. So average annual value on this deal is $35 million, and he doesn't play. He's had those quotes in the media, talking about how like his family is more important than baseball, which is obvious. Like that's so, but the way he said it and the way it came across coming from him, it didn't come across well. Yeah, he's the highest paid third baseman in terms of AAV, ahead of Arenado, Machado, and Devers. And he doesn't play. So I feel like this was a layup for me at number 2 here. Just, guy doesn't play.
Really doesn't play. That's a big pick. Really chalky for me. I really enjoy the research you did with that pick. I'll give you, you want a round of applause?
I didn't think he was going to be there at 2. But yeah, I had to do it. I had to go chalk. My next pick won't be chalk.
All right, I'm going to go chalk with this pick. I'm taking Juan Soto here in Charlotte at number 2.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do it.
we got to make it happen. It's just like, William always loves Austin Riley, like Juan Soto at number 2. I mean, the guy's making $51 million for the next 15 years. The contract's going to expire when he's 41. I mean, we know through history that these multi-year deals, long 10-year deals, never pan out. Look at Rendon, look at A-Rod. Like, they just never work out. It's just rare that they work out. We're going through the same thing with Stan right now. And soon enough, like, a couple guys are coming. Like, Stan's a DH, and that's fine. But with the Yankees issues, and we'll talk about that when we talk about that ad nauseum when we do the Yankees review, like, you're really much pigeonholed for one position. And with Juan Soto, you look at the statistics. He's not an all-star this year, okay? He's hitting 249, okay, which is about 40 points lower than what he hit in New York, and about 30 points, 275, what he hit in San Diego. He's hitting numbers how he hit in 2022 with the Nationals, 246. His on-base percentage is the lowest it's ever been in his career at 386, okay? And he's slugging, it's his second worst career slug year at 497. And this is a guy you're paying $51 million to be the star and face of your franchise. And when you're getting paid that amount of money, you should be making and doing things on the field like Shohei Ohtani money. Like, you should be doing things like that. And he's not delivering. So, Juan Soto, congratulations, you got money, but enjoy the $51 million. And, you got to play better. You're not justifying the contract. That's the biggest deal. And I rest my case.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go Soto at some point in this draft. I didn't know if it was going to be this early. The one maybe redeeming quality about this contract is that he's making $61 million for the first 5 years, and then he does have that player opt out, which he won't take. But the most of the money comes in the first 5 years of the deal. Then it tapers off to $46 million a year through 2039. But my thing, and you kind of touched on it, my thing with this contract is he's getting paid to be a top 3 hitter in the league. I mean, he's getting paid. And the thing is, like, he doesn't play defense, or he does play defense, but he's one of the worst right fielders in terms of metrics in the league. And so he's going to get moved to DH soon. So you're paying a DH top tier money, and there's a lot of pressure on him to produce, because if he's not, like, it's really, really hard to justify this contract. And part of me wonders if Cohen, obviously you want to get the player because he's really good, but like, did Cohen just want to sign Soto to kind of spite the Yankees and be like, we are the big brother in New York now? Was it like a statement thing for him?
100%. It does factor in. You have to show you're the big boss in town. That's the deal, man. You got to, when you're going up against a team like the Yankees with all the legacy and all of the, accolades that the team has and marketing opportunities, you have to show your muscle. And this is a show your muscle thing to the league. It's not just the Yankees. It's to show to the other 29 other MLB owners that, hey, we're not the Mets. We're not that team that we're known to be. This is a changing of the guard. We're setting a new foundation here in the Queens.
Yeah. Second highest paid player in terms of AAV in the sport, and has the most valuable contract at 7.6. I mean, he almost got $1 billion. you got to be the best player in the league if you want to make that much money, I think. So yeah, and he hasn't produced this year, so that's a good pick. I'm sure Mets fans will love that one. I'm going with another one similar to my first pick. I'm going with Chris Bryant as at my number 2 pick. By the way, my team name is the Anchorage Whalers. We're going to go with Anchorage Whalers or the Anchorage Ice Fishers. Well, I'll do some thinking on that overnight. But I mean, Chris Bryant kind of speaks for himself. He had a 29 baseball reference WAR from 2015 to 2021 prior to signing the deal. Then he signed the deal heading into the 21 season. And he has a negative 1.6 BWAR in the 4 seasons he's played in Colorado. He's only played 170 games with his time in Colorado, and he has chronic lumbar degenerative disc disease in his back, which is obviously very scary. 7 years, 182 million, 26 million annually. He's 30. Like, here's a guy that just peaked really early, won the MVP in Chicago. Was it 2017, rookie of the year in 2015, World Series in 2016. I think he was MVP. I think it was 2017 that he won it. And it's just injuries, can't stay healthy. Another one, I just feel bad for him because he was such a big superstar in Chicago. Him and Rizzo were the two, most famous athletes in the city at the time. And now it's just, I don't know, he's kind of faded into irrelevance. And he's only 30. Like, he could still, if he was healthy and productive, he could have another 10 solid years of his career. But I see this thing panning to like retirement sooner rather than later just because of the back injury. Very concerning. So he's a free agent, and after the 28 season when he's going to be 37, and obviously on the worst team in the league right now, hasn't played much at all this year. It's Chris Bryant. I don't feel good about it because he was once one of the best players in the league, but fortunately not anymore.
Yeah, talk about a really bad contract, but sucks that Chicago Cubs core has all. I think you can make an argument that you can draft the whole Chicago Cubs like core from that World Series still playing, and they'd make like a worst contract team.
Yeah, well, there's a couple other ones on my list.
I'm gonna go out the box with my next pick. 4th overall pick, right? 5th overall pick.
5th, yeah, 5th.
I'm drafting another outfielder.
Okay.
I'm gonna draft Jung Hoo Lee.
It's a good pick.
Jung Hoo Lee.
He was on my list.
He's a guy I'm a fan of. I like the way he plays, but I mean, look, he's 25, under contract till 29, so he's under contract for the next 4 seasons at $18 million. AAV puts him as the 3rd highest paid center fielder, but in front of guys like Julio Rodriguez, Byron Buxton, Michael Harris, Luis Robert. And when you look under the hood, he ranks 10th in WAR. And guys like Trent Grisham, TJ Friedel, Jackson Churio, Cedar Rafaela, and a lot of other guys rank higher in WAR this season. He's not that great of a defender. He ranks 14th in defense out of all center fielders qualified. When you look at the average numbers, he's 5th. OBP, he ranks 5th. Again, you're paying top dollar for a center fielder that isn't producing to that money amount. Again, I know it's the Giants. I know the Giants are trying to bring in, marketing value because he does cater to the fans out in Asia. But again, they have to overpay because of the ballpark and because it's in California. Again, I don't think that's great of a deal. That money could be better spent. And that's kind of a big, topic of this draft is a lot of the teams that give out these contracts are bad teams. They stay bad because they don't talent evaluate. And people, like you said, you don't pay, and you're like, you always say on pod, you pay for present performance, not for future performance. And you go into that whole vacuum that with the DJ LeMahieu vacuum that you said that they're paying for what have you done for me when you should be looking ahead. And with Jung Hoo Lee, a relatively unknown talent, you gave him close to $20 million. That $20 million, you can go get a guy like Christopher Sanchez, who got paid $18 million by the Phillies. That money can be well spent.
Yeah, don't pay for past performance. That DJ LeMahieu.
That's the thing,
yeah. Okay, good pick. He was on my list, like I said. My next pick, I'm going with my shortstop. There's honestly a lot to pick from at shortstop. This is a really good position. I'm going to pass on one guy that I think you're going to go with at shortstop. I'm not going to say who, but I have a feeling I know who you're going to pick at shortstop. I'm going, and maybe this is a guy that was on your big board. I don't know, but the Whalers with our third third overall pick. I'm going Willie Adames. San Francisco Giants gave him a 7-year, back-to-back Giants picks, by the way. 7-year, $182 million deal this offseason. The average annual value is $26 million. He's at $13 million for the first 2 years, but then it jumps up to $31 million from 2027 through 2031. And if you look at the numbers, his numbers have just dropped precipitously since coming over from Milwaukee. Ironically, he had a really good series in Milwaukee this past weekend, where he maybe should have stayed. Obviously, we know Milwaukee was never going to pay that contract. The average is down 26 points from 251 to 225. The OPS is down, 70? Yeah, 70 points from 793 to 723. The redeeming quality is he does play good defense, 4 outs above average, but this feels like a move where the Giants were kind of just, and I liked it at the time, but now looking back retrospectively, it does feel like a deal that the Giants made when they were just kind of looking to sign somebody. They were out on Soto, so like, all right, we got to splash money somewhere, and they decided to give it to Willie Adames to fill a hole at shortstop with obviously Brandon Crawford moving on from him. They haven't needed to get that guy to man down the 6th spot for the future for the next 7 years, and it's Adames, but he's just, 21 stolen bases last year. Now he has 7, and the season's almost over. It's Adames. He's fallen off. Obviously, a very tough place to hit. Was a beloved Brewer. If you look at the metrics, they're all down essentially. So I'm going Willie Adames with my 3rd overall pick.
That's a pick right there. That is a big pick you just got there. I'm gonna go with my next guy. I'm gonna finish out my outfield. I need a left fielder. Let's talk about a legend, a guy who really never got back to the heights that he did back in 2017 and 2022. I'm gonna take a very surprising guy. I'm gonna take Andrew Benintendi at left field.
He was on my list.
Andrew Benintendi's at left field, currently making $15 million till 27. The contract's up really soon. And he's just a guy that is just like, for what they're paying him on the White Sox, he's hitting right now 229, on base percentage of 295, and slugging of 400. That's just not good enough at that point. Just give, and not to be critical of him because he is a MLBer, but at that point, let one of the guys in AAA play and give it a shot. It's just not good enough. That hammy injury that he had in New York never came back from it. He is having a better year since last year. He's a 0.4 WAR player right now. He was a 2.3 WAR player before he got traded to the Yankees, and a perennial 2 to 4 WAR player before that. He's just fallen off a cliff. Yeah,
he was a part of that really good Red Sox World Series team in 2018, the Jackie Bradley Jr., Benintendi, Mookie Betts outfield that was elite. And yeah, he just hasn't lived up to that since then, really. So good pick. He was on my list as well. My next pick, I don't think this is going to surprise some people, but I'm staying out west. I'm staying with a team that I drafted from earlier. I'm going with the Los Angeles Angels, and I'm picking Mike Trout. 12-year.
Oh, and you love Trout.
12-year, $426 million deal that he signed heading into the 2019 season, or I can't exactly remember when it was signed, but it kicked in the 2019 season. The average annual value is $35 million, which ranks among the most valuable contracts in all of baseball. I think it's like 10th in terms of AAV. In terms of whole contract value, he's the 4th most valuable contract in all of baseball. When he signed it, I think it was the biggest contract in American professional sports history at $426 million. How quickly we have surpassed that. But
very, very quickly.
Obviously, heading into the contract, it was well-deserved. You were paying for past performance. He was only like 26, 27 when he signed the deal. And from 2011 to 2018, he had a 64.3 WAR, won 2 MVPs with a 175 OPS plus. Like he was elite, won an MVP in 2019. But I mean, the story with Trout is like he just hasn't been able to stay healthy since 2020. If you look at his numbers since 2020, as Baseball Reference doesn't want to load, there we go. 2020, 15.1 WAR since 2020, only 420 games with a 153 OPS plus, which is still really good, but really like when you narrow it down to like the last 2 seasons when he's really fallen off, 129 OPS plus. Obviously, that is still 29 points above league average, but you're paying the guy to be one of the best hitters in the league. And unfortunately, he just hasn't been. I mean, this season, at time of recording, he's got a 125 OPS plus with an 810 OPS, 237 average. Had a 220 batting average last year across only 29 games. This year he's played 101, but did miss some time with injury. And the thing that scares me the most with this contract is what he still has to be paid. I mean, $37 million for 2026 through 2030. That's 5 more seasons this guy's making top tier money. And we haven't seen it. Like, I think it's the main reason that he'll probably never get traded is just no one's going to want to take on this contract with the production that we've seen from him the past 2 seasons. And obviously he hasn't been able to stay healthy. One of the best players I've seen in my lifetime. The peak Trout, you can put him up with anyone in the history of the sport. Unfortunately, as he's gotten into his 30s, like he's kind of just, again, theme with my picks, like he's struggled with injury, the production has dipped. And I mean, the story with Trout in his career is like he's just played irrelevant baseball his whole career. He's been on bad teams. Obviously played with Shohei Ohtani, but it didn't matter. They weren't good. They never made the playoffs. He's played 1 playoff series. I think it was 2014 against the Tigers and hasn't been back since. So yeah, I'm going with Trout.
Is Mike Trout one of the biggest what ifs in like, you know, in like baseball? You take out the injuries, put him on like a decent team. Is he like one of the bigger what ifs? I mean, we already know that he like October is his season. He's in that box at Lincoln Financial. Like we know that's his calling in October, which may be why he signed that contract with the Angels. But like thinking about it, could he be like one of the bigger what ifs? Like, you know, you think about what ifs, like what if Tim Hill pitched instead of Nestor Cortez? What if, you know, I don't know, what's another big what if in baseball recently?
Not recently, but I always wonder, like, what if Bo Jackson never got hurt and he just played 10, 15 years of Major League Baseball and NFL?
What if, like, another what if Jose Fernandez never passes away? Like,
Yeah.
that actually happens. Like, what
That was
if
sad.
the
I mean,
what if the Marlins never trade the nucleus that they had?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, there's like, is Mike Trout up there? Because I think you put Jose at number 1 because Jose could be like number 1, the biggest what if, because he was pitching at like a level. He was like DeGrom level. Like, we're talking like DeGrom was on the Mets and DeGrom would lose games because the Mets were bad. Jose was just like there, damn near there.
Yeah, I know. He was, I mean, top tier and was super sad, obviously. Is a Trout, like, it is a what if, not in terms of on-field production, because it was always elite top tier production. It's more of a what if of like, what if this guy played on good team? What if he was on Houston during their prime? Like, what if he was on the Giants when they were winning those World Series, 2012, 2014? Like, what if he, I don't know, played on the good Reds? Like, any relevant team. If he was playing relevant, he was on one of the worst possible teams to be on in this time. And like, unfortunately, his legacy is going to be elite player, one of the most talented players ever, but like no one really watched him. Like, what's your favorite Mike Trout moment? For me, the thing that comes to mind is always the home run robbery. There are no iconic Trout moments.
There are none. I'm saying. I was just thinking, what if you put Mike Trout on those Tampa teams in the late teens, early 2000s? Put Mike Trout in Tampa. I think Tampa actually gets a World Series. The only problem is with it, they probably would have not been able to afford him. But
yeah, that's,
you know. But I think they probably would have won a couple World Series.
Yeah,
all right, so it's my pick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, your pick.
I'm gonna controversial. I'm gonna go first base here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Matt Olson.
Team side, player side?
Team side. I mean, Matt Olson is making 21 AAV, and he's paid till 2030. I mean, that puts him behind Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman, Pete Alonso, and Vlad Jr. Pete's going to get paid again this offseason. You know, Pete's going to hit 30 mil probably this offseason. And Matt Olson has quietly had one of the best first base seasons in the past 2 or 3 seasons. Right now, Matt Olson ranks 5th in OBP, which is ahead of Harper. He ranks right there on average above of Bryce Harper at 268, and Harper is 263. Like, they're really similar. If you look at their numbers, the only thing that Harper has elite better than Olson is that Bryce Harper has 500 slug, and Matt Olson's at 452, so a 50-point difference. And the WRC plus is obviously going to be higher with Harper at 135 to 128. I'm definitely taking Matt Olson to be a guy who should have gotten that Freddie Freeman type of contract, and I mean that's why they pivoted. And I know there was definitely a hometown discount given, probably because you know that Matt Olson, he is from Atlanta, grew up in Atlanta, got traded to the Braves. He probably wanted to be home, took a less money off the table. But if you were to hit the free agency market when he was supposed to, he probably gets 30.
Yeah, so bad from the player side. He should have gotten more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was on the A's teams, and like when you look at him on the A's, he led the team in games played, hits, 39 home runs, 111 RBIs, which 100 RBIs is already hard, and walks in 88. And he was number 2 on the team for batting average, on base percentage, and team slugging percentage. He also has a goal. He was a finalist for a Gold Glove before he got traded. So he's like an all-around first baseman at $21 million. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Christian Walker just got $20 million, and all Christian Walker has is the Gold Glove.
Yeah, I thought about Christian Walker for first base. Okay, you got Matt Olson. I'm going to.
What do you think? What do you think? You're pretty quiet. You're like,
he's underpaid. I do think he's one of the best. Like, he's in that conversation, in my opinion, with Harper and Alonso. I just feel like he's been overlooked ever since for whatever reason, ever since he went over to the Braves. I feel like he's been overlooked. I feel like he got more buzz when he was on Oakland.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
We got Vladdy's obviously number 1 at first base.
Yeah.
Right now. Who's number 2?
Ben Rice.
Okay, stop with the bias. Like, come on. Who's number 2?
Probably Harper. Alonso's close though. Freddie. Maybe
I'm thinking Olson. Oh, you can make the car. It's so hard because you have 4 guys right there in that same like category. You got Pete, you got Harper, you got Olson, and then you got Freddie Freeman. You got one. It depends like what you like. If you want a good on contact bat to ball skills type of guy, professional hitter, you're going Freddie Freeman. If you want a guy that just hits nukes, you're going Pete. If you want a guy that was an all around talent, you go Bryce. But Matt Olson, it's really not that far off when you think about it. He hits for power. He has great defense at first. The only thing is that he's been overshadowed because he plays in Atlanta and probably because he plays with Acuna, number 2. Yeah. He probably is a second fiddle and doesn't have his team, but I think he's right up there. And that's what I want to ask you. How do you rank him?
Oh, you want me to rank him on the spot? I go Freddie number 1. Number 2.
Over Vladdy Jr.?
Oh, we're including Vladdy. Sorry.
Vladdy's already number 1. It's just like, how do you rate those 4 after?
Vladdy 1, I thought that was a given. 2, I would probably go Freddie. 3, I mean, are we talking this season? Just this season?
Who do you take? I'm not saying this season. Who do you take?
For what? Like future, whole career? Because if you factor in whole career.
If you're factoring whole career, I think Harper is 1. I think that's the whole thing. But the thing is, Harper's a converted outfielder into first base.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just like, okay, I'm looking at it where it's just like, okay, Vladdy's number 1, and then what are you taking 2? Like, Freddie's great, but so is Matt Olson.
It's a tough conversation. I can't pick it right now. I also don't know the parameters you're giving me here.
I'm definitely giving the food for thought. It's definitely a lot of food for thought. When you look at it, Freddie Freeman has 1 Gold Glove, and so does So does Matt Olson. And 2 Gold Gloves, actually. Wow. And I don't like counting All-Stars because I think All-Stars are super political when you look at it. And
it's
it depends
half a season.
Half a season and where you and like depends also who you're going up against. And Freddie Freeman played with Braves and he has all of Braves country behind him, while Matt Olson had the A's fan base. Now, no offense to A's fans, but y'all really don't compare up to Braves country.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, fair.
So
good fan base though, but no longer have a team.
I mean, led the league in home runs in 2023 and RBIs. He may not have the accolades, but he's up there. And I feel like there should be more conversations of him being as the elite first baseman.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I agree. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to make my next pick.
All right.
I'm going second base. Second base is a tough position. There's really, obviously, it's a position that's kind of low on talent in the league in terms of depth. And then look at these contracts. There's actually not that many bad ones, but I think there's one that stands out among the rest, and it's Xander Bogaerts. 2013 to 2022 in Boston, he had a 814 OPS with a 117 OPS plus. Had MVP votes 5 seasons, couple Silver Sluggers in there, 4-time All-Star in Boston. Since coming over to San Diego, starting in his age 30 season, he has a 104 OPS plus with a 272 batting average. So the numbers are down. He's been better since like mid-June this season when he hit a home run off Yamamoto. That was kind of like a turning point in the season for him this year, and he's been a lot better. 263 batting average, 722 OPS. So still not good numbers, and he's getting paid top dollar. He's the second highest paid. This website lists Alex Bregman as the second baseman, but Bregman obviously hasn't been playing. He hasn't been playing. So he is the highest paid second baseman in the sport. And it's a 11-year, $280 million deal, and we're only in year 3. So he's got 8 more years after this. And it's $25 million a year for a guy that just hasn't, no All-Star since coming over to San Diego, no award votes, just hasn't been as good as he was in Boston. Redeeming quality for him, 7 outs above average this year at shortstop. So he is still a good defender, but he's 32. You would expect to see the defense fall off at some point in this contract. They're paying him through age 40 season. It's a lot of money for a guy that has been on the decline. Another good move by the Red Sox to not extend the guy. So I'm going with Xander Bogaerts as my second baseman.
I would like to thank you for picking him. I agree with Xander. And congratulations to Xander and his agent for getting that contract. Again, San Diego is reckless, but I think they're like reckless where they don't think sometimes, because we all know that Xander deal is not going to work out. They have other guys on that team that aren't going to work out with those contracts. It's kind of like they're pushing their chips in and then figuring it out, which I think that's an awful way to figure things out. It's not a great strategy.
It's going to come back to bite them.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you. I'd like to pick my third baseman here. I'm taking. I can't believe I got him at what pick number am I at? I pick 11.
Yeah, well, I went third base. I went third base first. My first overall pick, so I'm locked from that position.
I have a better one.
Okay.
Jose Ramirez.
Okay, from the player side. He was on my list. He was on my list.
Jose Ramirez at $20 million is criminal. We're talking for a guy that is number 1 at third base for WAR. He's an incredible hitter, incredible base runner. He's always in MVP hunt discussions, an all-star every single year, perennial all-star. Where would the Guardians be without Jose Ramirez? And he's a guy that doesn't get enough publicity because he plays in Cleveland. If he were to play in a bigger market, he would definitely be talked about more. And he's just a ridiculous player. The dude perennially hits 25 homers a year, close to 30 every season. He steals bases. He hasn't had a season that he's stolen less than 20 bases since 21. Even in the COVID shortened season, he stole 10 bases in a smaller sample size. Dude never's injured. He's played at least 125 games. This year he's still playing, but he always plays the 152. He's never had a big injury. 2016, 152. 2017, 157. 152. 157 in 2018. 129 in 2019. Again, COVID shortened season. He played 58 out of the 60, 21, 152, 157 in 22, 156 in 23, 158 in 2024, and 125 in 2025. And this guy is definitely his contract's going to age really well because there's a lot of third basemen due to get paid. I mean, he's at Paredes. My guy's going to get paid. Jazz Chisholm needs to get paid here eventually. And Eugenio Suarez, he probably sets the market this offseason. So give me Jose Ramirez right here at pick 11.
Yeah, I think J-Ram has – I don't even think it's an argument. I think he's by far the most underpaid player in the league. I mean, this guy could be, if he wanted to, and I think he did the Guardians a favor by taking a team-friendly deal, and he knew it when he signed that deal. He could easily be making, what, 35, 40 million a year? He could be the highest paid third baseman in the league. I mean, he's a top 5 player in the game. And he's on just the fact that he's making 20 million a year is like, wow. I mean, that's crazy. That's a gift to the Cleveland front office. You would think that they would take that gift. They have one of the best players in the league and try to build, spend some money in free agency and build a legit team around them. But they're bang average this year. They're bang average because the team doesn't invest money.
And I'll defend Cleveland because they do have a good farm system. A lot of their farm guys have gotten hurt and haven't panned out, so that's not on them. Like let's give it. Small markets can't spend like the Yankees. Not everybody can spend like you guys, William. Like we're sorry.
They do have a good farm system.
They've had injuries, and I mean they do a good job pitching development. They have a good system. It's just they can't compete. I mean, it's interesting because there's other guys like Michael Garcia who are due to get paid as well. Michael is incredible. He's probably one of the most not talked about third basemen here in the majors. So give me Jose Ramirez at pick 11.
All right, I'm up. This is a tough one. I got to beef up the outfield, and I'm struggling on where I want to go because there's really not that we've taken some of the bad deals, so I'm between a couple guys. I don't like it. These guys are free agents. That guy's injured. I'll do this one, and this is from a team or player side. My first player side pick. I'm going J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. 12-year, $209 million contract. He's making AAV of $17 million a year. That's not enough money and look, I know he hasn't played to maybe the name that people were building him up to be as one of the best players in the whole sport. He was an all-star this year. He's been an all-star in 3 of his 4 seasons as a big leaguer. What was it? He's the first player in MLB history to have 20-plus stolen bases and 20-plus home runs in his first 4 seasons as a big leaguer.
But the key caveat there with 20 stolen bases with the expanded bases, like 20 stolen bases is like stealing 10? Like Ricky Henderson would have hit 20 in 2 weeks.
That is a caveat. I still think he's underpaid. He's got a club option in 2030 when he's 29 for $18 million. That'll obviously get picked up. He's a Mariner until his age 33 season. And the OPS this year, OPS plus is 120, OPS is 772. I just think he's underpaid. I think if he were to take it to free agency, it could be a guy that could get 30, 35, maybe even 40, depending on the team and depending on the year we are looking at if he was a free agent, whatever year. So I'm going J-Rod, 24 years old, a little underpaid in my books.
That's not a bad one, but I'm going to go for a position that doesn't have that many options. Again, going to go in Atlanta for a catcher. I'm going to go Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy is a guy that, since his Oakland days hasn't panned out. I mean, yeah, he had that all-star season in 23, but since that all-star season in 23, his hitting has been atrocious. He's hitting 193, 204 this season. On base last year was 284. 308 this year. Slugging was down at 352 and 426. And he's going to get phased out here eventually. I mean, Drake Baldwin is the future catcher of the Braves. I'm a big Drake Baldwin guy. You and me saw him live. I think he looks good. The only thing that saves Sean Murphy is the defense, which the defense is pretty good. He does still have good defense back there. But when you're paying a guy top 5 catcher money, he's the fifth highest paid catcher at $12 million, higher than Alejandro Kirk, who I think is a better hitter, better player. Kyle Higashioka is probably in that conversation. And then William Contreras is going to reset the market, but they gave up William Contreras. So that might be one of the deals. Like, when you look back at it, these Atlanta like all-in moves maybe looked at it as awful because Atlanta gave up Shea Langoliers for Matt Olson. Yeah, Matt Olson is great, but Shea Langoliers is looking like a TUSA catcher for next season.
Yep.
And then you also have here for Sean Murphy, they gave up William Contreras. William Contreras is probably top 3 catcher right now in baseball, top 4.
Yeah, he's in that conversation. Walk-off home run on Saturday or Friday against the Giants.
You got Cal Raleigh at 1, Shea at 2, William, and then
What did you put Shea at 2?
I put Shea at 2.
I mean, you got to factor in defense too. Like, are we talking just purely hitting? Because if you factor in, I'd put in JT Realmuto.
Yeah, but JT's kind of this way. He's kind of
he's on the downs.
Will Smith.
Will Smith. Yeah, I was going to say
Will Smith.
He's going to win the batting title in the National League.
So yeah, well, we'll see about that. Xavier Edwards has something to say.
He does.
But what do you think, Sean Murphy and the Braves? I mean, it's crazy how this Braves core is aging poorly. I'm looking at these contracts; they're either aging well or poorly. It seems like for every great contract they get, they have one. That could be a what if. What if the Braves core never gets hurt and they don't, they actually pan out?
I mean, Austin Riley hurt, Sale hurt,
Strider got hurt,
TJ. I mean, they won the World Series with Acuna hurt.
But I'm saying if they run it back with everybody not hurt.
Yeah, 6 years, $73 million for Murphy, $15 million a year.
Couldn't pay Freed because of it, which I mean, that's going to be a guy you're probably going to talk about later. I think
he's on my short list.
He's very anti-Freed right now.
No, let's move on. But I agree with that pick. I was struggling with catchers because there's not that many bad deals. Okay, my left fielder, and I admit, like, this is a weak position in terms of bad contracts. But I'm going to go with a Dodger, Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez signed a 3-year, $66 million deal this past offseason with an AAV of $22 million. So not that much. The thing that I don't like about this deal, $23.5 million in deferrals that'll be paid out from 2030 to 2039. We can do a whole podcast on the Dodgers money that they have deferred and what that team is going to look like in the 2030s, because I don't think that's a reality that Dodgers fans have come to realize yet, just how like screwed that franchise is in the 2030s. They probably will have a new ownership group at that point. They're all in on Ohtani and making money on Ohtani and winning World Series in the 2020s. But good Lord, that team is going to be something else in the 2030s. Nonetheless, 104 OPS this year, down from 134 last year. 249 batting average is down from a 272. All of his numbers are down from last year, every single one of them. And I needed a left fielder. There really weren't many other left fielders like Ian Happ, and he only's got another year left on the deal. Brandon Nimmo, but Brandon Nimmo's had a good season. Yelich has proven that he's been worth the money. Like Michael Conforto, 1 year, $17 million is a bad deal, but it's only 1 year. Tyler O'Neill was in the conversation. My guy that I had circled was Benintendi, but you picked him.
Yeah.
Profar, you can make an argument, but it's only 3 years and he's back from the PED suspension. So I'm going Teoscar. Deferrals, just don't like that deal.
I'm taking my next pick. We're going to go Marcus Semien at second base. I mean, it's just a matter of, the problem with second baseman is, and excuse me for saying Jazz at third base because Jazz Chisholm is a second baseman. I just realized that. But with Marcus Semien, he's older than what we think. He's 34.
World Series champion, though. Like that, I feel like for me, that kind of just negates the bad contract because you got a World Series out of it.
But you're going to be paying him till 2028. He's going to be 38 at $25 million. Getting paid more than Ketel Marte, Gleyber Torres, guys I would take in the long run. Brandon Lau's under consideration. I mean, it's just second base isn't that great of a position. I mean, Brandon Lau at $4 million, you can make the argument for, but I mean, is Brandon Lau somebody you're gonna look at a bad value or good value type of deal?
He's fine.
Who else? Jeff McNeil. I mean, Jeff McNeil at $12 million. You're probably playing for the versatility there. And Ozzie Albies at $5 million. I mean, Yeah, he's a switch hitter that can't hit right now off one side. But I think Marcus Semien, it's just like the amount of money that you're giving him. Yeah, he has a WAR of 3.3 currently, but it's just you're paying him till 2028.
Yeah, that's a fair pick. He was the name that I thought about because it is a lot of money for a guy that hasn't been producing, but he was so good when they won the World Series. Like, I feel like
like you say, what's the saying? You say World Series. Oh, I try prospects for World Series.
right.
We play for parade. Was parades or prospects?
Prospects are cool. Parades are cooler. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That should be a T-shirt. Prospects are cool, but parades are cooler.
Yep. Okay, DH. I'm going with my DH, and then I'll pick my starting pitcher last. A couple guys I'm between for this pick, but I'm gonna go with Jock Peterson. It's not that bad of a deal. 2 years, 37 mil, 18.5 AAV, and it was worth the money when they brought him in. Had a good season with Arizona last year. Obviously, has been an all-star a couple times in his career, but he's at a negative 0.5 WAR this year on Baseball Reference. Been hurt. He's been better ever since he hit that home run against Devin Williams with like 161 average, 69 OPS plus, 575 OPS. Like, he just has not been worth that contract so far. Short, small sample size, but I don't know. For a team that desperately needs hitters, it was a good signing. He just hasn't panned out in Texas. I was also thinking of Masataka Yoshida. I looked at the numbers, and I think he's been worth the 18 mil a year. 5 years, 90 for Yoshida, though, is questionable. Other than that, there's not a ton of bad DH contracts. So I'm going with Peterson.
But yeah, no, like you said, there's not many DH bad contracts unless you want to put in Ohtani, but I think Ohtani's worth every single penny, depending on deferrals. So I'm kind of stuck here at shortstop. I don't know who to pick. I can pick I'm down between two guys. I can go really chalky. And that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go really chalky here, but it's tough.
I know who you want to pick. I know who you think I'm going to pick.
Mm-hmm. You think I'm going to pick Correa?
No.
Really?
I think you're going to pick Lindor.
No, I was going to pick Lindor. Lindor was not the guy I was going to pick.
Okay. I mean, look at that deal and how much money they have to pay him.
I did it last year, and I'm giving the Mets fans a break. I mean, I do always come down, but he does produce. He does produce, and he is Captain Met. He's the best captain in the city of New York, in my opinion, right now.
Wow.
What?
On August 24th. In terms of leadership qualities.
Leadership qualities and team performance.
Okay. I don't know. I'll disagree with that.
I mean, you disagree with that because Judge got you to a World Series, carried off Soto's home run.
I mean, Judge is the best hitter in the game.
Yeah, but what has he done in the playoffs? Lindor has more moments, and Lindor has taken two teams deep in the playoffs.
Yeah. He's been closer to winning a World Series than Judge has. Got to a Game 7 in Cleveland.
Who did Judge play to get to the World Series?
Cleveland and KC.
Yeah, what has Lindor done? Lindor almost beat the Dodgers.
I mean, yeah. Okay. So who are you going with that short?
You are offended by that right now. You are literally like seething inside, wanting to have a full-blown conversation about this. But
who would you rather have on your team, Francisco Lindor or Aaron Judge?
Obviously Judge, but I mean, who shows up in the clutch? Who's taking me to the promised land? Who's coming with me on the altar? Who's not getting cold feet? It's the biggest thing. Who's gonna actually be there in the moment? You know. But yeah, let's go shortstop. There's two guys, and I don't know who to take. I'm clearly stuck. I'm gonna take Dansby Swanson. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I mean, he was your pick. He was your pick last year. I know this year Dansby pretty much got paid for past performance with that contract. And yeah, if he doesn't give you elite defense, he's not that great of a hitter. I mean, if you look at right now in WAR, currently Dansby Swanson ranks right here, right smack dab in the middle at 16th with 2.4. Trevor Story, Adames, Neto, Bichette, Abrams, Wynn, Seager, Henderson, De La Cruz, Pena, Lindor, Perdomo, Turner, and Bobby Bobby Wood Jr. are all better than him. WRC plus isn't great either at 96. Just not cutting it for me. A guy he's going to get paid for a long time, and he's just not that guy. He's a good face of the franchise. He does know, good for PR, good for marketing, but just not that guy to be paying. What's the number? $25 million, which is more than Fernando Tatis, which he's left fielder, but just not it. Perdomo is making 11, and Bichette's going to crush that number. So,
yeah, Tatis and right. But yeah, so Swanson's the highest paid Cub, 25 mil a year, 177 total. Like I mean, he's getting paid through what age? Like basically 40. No, sorry.
Yeah.
35,
38. Yeah.
The defense. Yeah. I like you said, I made the pick last year. I need a catcher before we move on to our final pick of pitcher. I'm going Keibert Ruiz. This was a tough position. He took the one guy out of the pick. 8-year, $50 million deal that kicked in 2023 with an AAV of 6.2 mil. And obviously he got hurt this year with the concussion, so he's been out for a long time. Only has 255 plate appearances across 68 games this year. But I mean, since the deal kicked in, he's played a total of 331 games with an 83 OPS plus, so 17 points below league average with a 246 batting average, and he hasn't been a good catcher. If you look at his metrics on Savant across 23 and 24, in 23 he had a negative 10 blocks above average, negative 13 framing, negative 12 caught stealing above average, so not a good defensive catcher, hasn't been hitting. Overall, I just think it's a pretty bad contract.
Yeah.
He was a top prospect. He came over and was it Turner or the Scherzer trade? One of those two.
It was a combo. Scherzer Turner. There was a one trade. It was him and Josiah.
Yeah, sorry, one trade.
Him and Josiah Gray.
Yeah. So 27 years old, hasn't panned out. I'm going Keibert Ruiz.
All right. So I'm going to do my final pick. I'm going to make an amendment to my draft. I will be moving one of my outfielders to DH. I'm moving Juan Soto as my DH for all cases and purposes, and I will be taking Fernando Tatis at right field.
Wow. Okay. Found a little loophole.
Exactly. I found a little. Hey, it's Juan Soto. Doesn't play defense. I'm taking Fernando Tatis. Talk about a contract. He's only making $23 million a year. $20 million a year right now. And it escalates up to 36 on 2031. But at that time, that's going to be cheap. Right now, he's not even in the top 20 of AAV of guys. There's like Blake Snell, Trout, Rendon, Lindor, Correa, Arenado, Machado, Devers, Betts, Trey Turner, Yamamoto, Bellinger, all making more money than Fernando Tatis Jr., who is a perennial MVP candidate, great defender, could have been a $40 million player. Regardless of the PEDs, I'm telling you right now, he is a guy that I will be putting out at right field. I'm pretty happy with this pick. Happy that he slipped the pick 19. Definitely a value pick right here. Was able to move Soto. Soto's cool with DHing as long as he has a suite and his parents can come in to the locker room.
Yeah, and he has that suite the whole contract. That was apparently the difference maker. So, fair enough.
What do you think? What do you think? Fernando Tatis at 23, 25 million a year. He's a bargain, my guy. $24 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, 805 OPS this season, 17 homers. Like he's not at that MVP level. 832 OPS last season, but he was hurt at points. Like he's a really good defender, really, really good defender.
But the talent, man.
Like he will probably have an MVP season at some point in his career, right? We've all been waiting for it to happen. It just hasn't happened. What's the highest he obviously had the PED suspension. I feel like that derailed his career for a little bit. Definitely like I feel like it derailed his like stature in the game or like the way MLB markets him. Like I feel like he was one of those players that they were really pushing to be one of the top faces of the league. He finished 4th in MVP in 2020 and then 3rd in 2021. So he's been really close, but he hasn't won one, obviously. Let's see if he can do it. 42 home runs in 2021. Can he get back to like 30? He's at 17 this year, so probably not going to happen this year. But definitely a talent. Definitely a talent. Let's see.
At 23 million, would you take him at 23 million?
Yeah, I would definitely take him. The deal, like you said, it goes up though to 36.
But that's at 2031. And at 2031, you should have deals like Paul Skeens down the pike. PCA will probably get 35, 40 million. You know that's what the Cubs fans want. Kyle Tucker's getting paid soon. Like all these contracts are going to eclipse that 23 number, 23, 25.
Yeah, it's true.
Who's your final? Right. Who's your pitcher?
Last pick of the draft. I'm going with a left-handed starting pitcher. And it's not Max Fried.
I know who
it's
is.
Blake Snell. Blake Snell.
Oh, wow. Mr.
Who did you think it was?
I thought it was going to be Christopher Sanchez. I go 3 innings, 70 pitches, or 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Again, this is a deferral thing. Like, he's a great pitcher. When he's healthy, he's one of the best in the league, but problem is he doesn't stay healthy. That's another thing. And he feels like an every other season kind of guy too. Won the Cy Young, obviously, in 2023, and then also in 2018. He's had a really damn good career. Unfortunately, he has been injured quite a lot, but 5 years, $182 million with the AAV at $36 million a year. He's worth that money. The thing that I don't like about this contract, and this is just crazy, $66 million in deferred money. So the Dodgers are paying him $5.5 million a year from 2035 to 2046. I mean, I guess this is bad from the team side, not from the player side. Player got paid. Yeah. They're paying him $5.5 million until he's 53 years old. Like, again, I'll say it again. The Dodgers are one of the best teams in the league now. Obviously, in the World Series, they're great. They're great. Like, Dodger fans don't come at me. I think your team is great. Okay. But like 2030s, 24, what is this team going to look like? And I know 5.5 maybe won't be that much in the grand scheme of things over the course of those years, but like $66 million in deferred money, that's crazy. And it's not like this is Ohtani where you can justify it. It's a great pitcher, but to spend that much money on him through those years, I don't know. Let me just pull up the Ohtani deferrals now that we're talking about it, because
Guggenheim, bro. Guggenheim. They're going to be owning the Lakers. Just wait till LeBron gets deferred money so they can go get Luka Doncic, another superstar.
So yeah, Ohtani's deferrals are insane. Ohtani's getting paid a total of $680 million from starting in 2034 when he's 39 through 2043 when he's 48. That is $68 million a year when he's probably at that point. Maybe the last 2 years he'll be playing, last few years, but for most of that time he'll be retired. I mean, that is significant. That is legit money. That is bigger than some teams' payroll. So I don't know. What is that team going to look like in the 2030s and 2040s?
Hey, crazy. Who knows? It remains to be seen, but that wraps it up. We'll drop some, listeners will vote. We're going to have a poll on this on Instagram soon.
Let's do it. I'll post it up. I'll make a graphic. I'll post our teams. I'll definitely defer, or like I'll denote if it's bad from the player side or bad from the team side. And then I'll post it up, and players or the listeners can vote on who they think has the better team of worst contracts. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in our DMs, wherever you want to contact us. But this was fun. Annual Worst Contracts Draft.
Congratulations. We finished another one. Make sure you keep it locked in. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers by the end of the year. In addition, Substack article coming soon.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks for that. All right. That's all we got, right? Anything else?
Keep it locked.
All right. Until then. Until next time. Peace out.